Hi everybody, Mr. Martin here. Happy Wednesday. Hope you've all had a brilliant week so far. So for this afternoon's Wonder lesson, we're going to crack straight on with our scarf learning. So first of all, a little bit of feedback from last week where I've got to rewind and we looked at risks. Remember, we're still looking at our S in scarf, which is safety. So we've looked at risks and health risks. And we looked at some drugs that people put into their bodies. So we looked at smoking and the risks associated, and we looked at the consumption of alcohol and excessively drinking and the risks associated. And you guys created posters explaining why smoking and drinking are risky for us. So I just wanted to share this one from Millie B, who created a brilliant poster. I love all these clippings of things to detract you from smoking and drinking, these negative risks, like alcohol, liver damage, we've got bad teeth here, we've got unhealthy lungs after the targets on them. I love the creativity you've used on here, Millie. I don't know whether you've printed them off or you found them out of magazines or newspapers, but the images really, really help promote that people should not be smoking or drinking too much. So well done, Millie B. Woo punk for you. And Mrs. Weston will have put some dojos on. Right, let's have a look at our what, how, and why for today. So, our what is to know the risks and control measures associated with using the internet. Working together and communicating ideas. We're going to do lots of discussing with the people at home, and we've got some facts, and I want you to decide whether they're true or false through communicating and explaining your ideas. And why, so that we can discuss ways to keep ourselves safe online. So let's have a look then. Now, yesterday, Tuesday the 9th of February, was a very important day. It was National Safer Internet Day across the United Kingdom. And this means that children and adults spent the day learning how to keep themselves safe when they're using the internet or websites or apps on their phone or devices. Now, especially with the pandemic going on, people are using the internet much, much more for things such as home learning, like you guys are today. And many, many more things. Communicating with friends is done through the internet, things like Zooms, and people are starting to use the internet much, much more. So it's really important that we are aware of the risks and the control measures. Now, we know that a risk is something that might be a danger to us and cause us harm, and there's different levels of risk. We've looked at that. A control measure is something that is put in place to minimize this risk, to make this risk as least risky as possible. So your first task, I want you to pause the video now, and I'd like you to think, what websites, apps have you heard of or do you use? So things like maybe TikTok, if you use that, or TT Rockstars would be one. So pause the video. I want you to see how many you can think of. Fantastic. Hopefully you have had time to talk about that with your adults at home. So I'm guessing we said things like TikTok, or maybe some of you use Roblox. Is that still one? We've got things like Purple Mash, Bug Clubs online. Maybe you play some games online. And we know that the internet is a great, great place for helping us learn and to enjoy ourselves. However, there are also some risks attached. That is what we're going to learn about today. So we're going to watch a little video, and then I've got some questions, and I want you to decide. So let me share my screen, and we'll watch today's video on keeping safe on the internet. Here we go. Let me share my sound. So this tells us how to keep safe.
Love and kisses from... Oh, it's on! I'm sorry, guys. I know I've told you I'd share everything with you, but this letter is really, really private. Okay. Da-da. Now it's safe in my top secret, secretive box. The internet is a great place to do research for school.
Share pictures with friends, play video games, or check out the latest trending videos. But it's important to remember that there are billions of people who access the internet, and not everyone has good intentions when doing so. You should think carefully before you share personal information, pictures, or videos on the internet, even if you think it is private. Nothing on the internet is completely private. It's a good rule of thumb not to put up anything that could embarrass you later. If you wouldn't want your grandmother to see it, then don't post it. And don't share private information with people you don't know. Trust your instincts. If someone approaches you online and makes you feel uncomfortable or in danger, stop communication with them immediately. And tell a parent or another trusted adult. It's best not to meet in person someone you've only met online, even if you've been communicating with them for a long time. They may not be who they have told you they are, and it could be dangerous. If you do decide to meet someone from online, it's best to meet them in a public place and to not go alone. Always take a friend along just to be safe, and let someone else know exactly where you are going and who you are going to meet. Bullying someone online, through email, social media, text messaging, or any other website or app is called cyberbullying and is still a form of bullying. It's often better to block, delete, or try to ignore bullying messages than to respond to them. If that doesn't work, getting help from a parent, school counselor, or another trusted adult might be a good idea. That's especially true if the cyberbullying contains threats. Remember to always keep your personal information private. Check your privacy settings to make sure that only your friends can see what you post. And never, ever share your passwords with anyone else. The internet could be a wonderful place to explore. Just remember to stay safe while doing it.
Oh, what was it? My dog's birthday. Shoot, okay, that didn't work. Oh, I know. Last 4 digits of my cell number. Okay, that wasn't it.
Okay, so there we have a little video, and it highlighted all of the brilliant things about the internet, all of the things that are great. So it helps us connect with our friends, it helps us educate and learn and find knowledge. It helps us entertain ourselves through playing games, but it also can be quite a dangerous place. There are lots of people on the internet who are not who they say they are, and they might be after things such as personal details or money. And more that technology advances and the internet gets bigger and faster and more, faster, I guess, the more these things are happening. Unfortunately, there are some nasty people in. So we're going to look at some scenarios, and then you guys are going to create a poster explaining how to keep safe. So my first scenario, and it is true or false, and I would like you to discuss this with your adults at home. Most 12 to 15-year-olds who go online say if they visit a new website, they would check it out first. Do you think that is true or false? Have a discussion with your adults. Okay, let's have a look. I wonder what you've said at home. Let's see. It is actually true. 77% of children would check out a website first before they went on it. And then we have some things down here that might help us. If you click on a website or a link and it comes up with something that says this site contains malicious malware, or there's something to say this site is harmful, a lot of good websites will have that pop-up to stop you going any further and maybe encountering some of these dangerous people online. Okay, so it's really important that you don't just pick cancel. If one of these pop-ups pops up on your website telling you to think again or double check, or this is risky, or it's got viruses, really think if you need to go on. Well done if you said true. 77%, so that's just over 3/4. Our next scenario, most 12 to 15-year-olds say, I will give details about myself on a website or app to be able to get something I want. For example, if you want some free gifts or to get points on a game. I wonder if any of you, hopefully not, have done that online. Let's see, is it going to be true or is it going to be false? What do you think? Pause the video if you need to talk about it with your adults. Okay, let's have a look then. It is actually false. Only 17% of people between 12 and 15 agreed, okay, which is quite pleasing, okay, but there are still 17% of people that would happily type in on their website their personal details, okay, and this is really, really dangerous. This is where scammers and people, or this thing called phishing, okay, where they can use your personal data if you provide them with passwords or addresses. It's really, really dangerous, and they might, particularly if you've got a game where a bank card or a debit card is linked to it and your parents, perhaps you buy things on the game, if you give away details, they might be able to get into your adults' banking. So it's really, really important that when we're online, we never give away our personal details to other people. Have a look. Next one. Most 12 to 15-year-olds say that not all information on social media is true. What do you think about that one? What do you think? Okay, let's have a look then. So do they believe that it's all true? True. Only 4% of people believe that everything on social media is true. 74% agree that people behave very differently when they're online and they're behind a computer screen typing away. Quite often it's anonymous, so you can't see their face, you don't know who they are, and they're much more confident and more likely to do things, potentially nasty and malicious things that they wouldn't do if it was face-to-face. Okay, things like the cyberbullying that we talked about in our video, that would be an example of this. So it's good to know that 74% of people know that not everything on social media is true. Right, our final scenario that we're going to talk about. Most 12 to 15-year-olds believe that not all search engines can be trusted. So search engines are things like Google or Bing, where you search the internet for websites. Yahoo, I think, is another one. What do you think? True or false? Pause the video and discuss it with your family. Okay, true. 56% of people believe that some sites can be trusted. And we've got some well-known trusty sites like the BBC when you search for it on Google. Okay, it's better to use well-known search engines such as Google because they are more trusted. Okay, and if you're unsure about searching for a website or a pop-up pops up on a website, you should always check with an adult if something doesn't quite feel right. Hopefully, if there's a risk in normal life, you would check with an adult. That's what we've been talking about as one of our strategies. Exactly the same online. If you're not sure about something or it doesn't quite feel right, always ask an adult if you're not sure. Well done if you said true. Right, your task for today then. I would like you to create a poster explaining how to keep safe when using online websites or apps. So I want lots of color or pictures on there. I want facts. I want explanation. Give people justification why they should do things. Okay, so things like check with an adult. Don't give your personal details away. What else have we talked about? Don't click on anything if there's a pop-up that says warning or viruses. Never cyberbully. Explain that people might be different on a computer than they are in real life. So send us over your posters explaining how we can keep ourselves online. Because we know that the internet is a great tool that we can use, but we have to be aware of the risks, okay, to keep ourselves and others safe. Looking at safety and risk, have a great afternoon. Bye.